My name is Jafar Sajanyamei. She is Daniela Mendoza, Oyoki, and we're going to give first a little definition about industrial design. What is it? Then we're going to talk about automotive design, a little bit about the history of the, the engine mostly, and then we're going to talk specifically about some, like instead of explaining a designer, we're going to explain a company that designed the car that inspired many other companies to keep like designing based on this car.
And a small conclusion at the end.
Clearly.
So, what is industrial design? We know that it is a creation of things, but it's basically the product of our human creativity. So it's the production, it's the development, and it's the manufacturing of objects, processes, or even services. It may vary. No. It may vary in size, in shape, in color, in texture, and the greatest designers of all times are the ones who inspired their creations in their culture and traditions, as well as, like, we know that in order to be inspiring, it has to evoke change, and it transcends. Like design will never stop because technology it advances and new materials, so it will never stop. It transcends through time, and therefore types. Oh, there's many designs that we can see. Like it's in every area there is design. So we classify them in four big categories. So I want to explain it because it's interesting. The first is commerce design, which is the typical. Is the one that is in charge of wide ranges of products and is usually a specific brand. This is like carried on by the market. So it's like shoes, brands of clothing, technology, like Apple, like big enterprises. That's the most typical one. And then we have this cursive design. This is more complex and it's less visible in the market. And they're tools for thinking, which purpose is to raise or persuade awareness. Like we can see them on the streets or maybe in plates. That's a famous one, the one of the plate. So it has like a message when you finish eating. It's like depressing, like every child, and it's hungry and stuff like that. I didn't like it, but it's very typical nowadays from the contamination and pollution and stuff and bullying, like you can see it. And then it's experimental design. This is, as you may imply, is the branch of design that is focused on exploration and discovery. So the product is always unpredictable. In fashion design, we can see it's the runways and the fashion shows. There's like the ones that they do, like it's not really clothing, but it's how it will become. And then here's the Nike shoes. Those are new. They auto lace, so it's experimental. And the one on the top, they're animals. It's a company that gathers animals, and they have this material, so like animals chew on it, and it's the wallpaper, or it's some tubes like with the spiders and stuff. It's different. It's experimental. And then we have the responsible design. This is much less typical. Is the one that is in charge of creating products for those who need them. Like the market does it general, and this specific design goes for, I don't know, like people who are maybe sick or need like extra help in products or something like that.
Well, now we're going to talk a little bit about automotive design, but before going to like the design, I'm going to talk a little bit about the history.
Oh, before that, automobile design, like all designs, is first with the sketch, and then it passes on to a computer. It's like a computer sketch, a render. And then we have a model of a car, which is usually from another material. And that's it.
Okay. For the very first vehicle that was considered an automobile because of the engine, like because it had a way to propose itself, is the Congonot steam trolley that first appeared in the year 1769. That this one is is considered the very first automobile, but Ferdinand Berbiest in the year 1672 made a toy for the Chinese emperor of the time that was like actually powered by steam, and the design of the combustion trolley that was designed by Nicholas Joseph Cognat is based on the design of the toy. Okay, the next era comes in the year 8. The next big invention comes in the year 1888 by that is the Flocken Electrowagon that was designed by Andres Flocken, and it is considered to be the first electric car. By using electricity, it wouldn't travel very much because it didn't have very much electrical power at the time, but that one is like the first design, and nowadays they're like producing them for, you could say, tourism and other things like that, and this is like one you can see nowadays. The next design is the Benz patent motor wagon, and it is considered, well, it's not the first automobile to be powered by gas, but it is the first one to be like start being produced and the first one being patented. Because at the time, many other, you could say, inventors and designers were creating like vehicles that were powered by gas mixtures, and almost all of them created this like their vehicle simultaneously. That's something very interesting. Well, Carl Benz first created the Benz patent, and this is the first design he made. Like this is the first version, and in a trial, you could say the problem was that it lost control and ran into a wall. So at first it wasn't like accepted by the society, but then he redesigned it, making a second version, and then at last the third version, that is the one that you can see on the top, and that is the one that you could say started being sold to the public by, and Carl Benz being called the father of automobiles. And the one that like brought us to like the cars we can see today mostly is the Model T Ford. That is, you could say, the most influential car of its era. This model sold over 15 million pieces, and Henry Ford was present when the 15 millionth one went out of the assembly line. Oh, then we're jumping like to right now, and Tesla Motors, that is a company that started on the year 2003, is the company that created the first electric car that was able to cross highways. This is the Tesla Roadster. It's made by carbon fiber, and aluminum mats. It's completely electric, and it uses lithium-ion batteries, cells that are found in batteries such as laptops and other things. It has thousands of these cells in its engine, and the engine has a life that it can travel 245 miles before depleting completely. That it lasts over 1,000 miles or 7 years, and the battery is replaceable. Right now, there aren't many charging stations for this car like around the world because it's very modern. But Tesla is actually selling an adapter so you can connect the car to any outlet and charge it in that outlet. What else can well, it can go from, its speed is, it goes from 0 to 100 miles per hour at 3.9 seconds. And well, that is the Tesla, which inspired many other companies, like you could say some we're going to show right now, that Daniel is going to explain, and others like Ferrari, Lamborghini, that are starting to make electric cars which are much more ecological, but still they have a very high price. That this one costs right now $109,000.
So well, this car starts at $109,000. Sorry, it's really low, because we want to compare it to this car, which is the Mercedes AMG. Mercedes is a well-known brand, and I think, in our opinion, we think that the cars are most sold by its brand. That's for the car. So in 1999, AMG adapted itself to Mercedes. It's a company that buys the motors, and they change them and they add them to the car, so they make a racing. It's the branch of Mercedes that it's most luxurious and it's expensive of all. So this car is basically like the Roadster. It travels to 0 from 100 kilometers in 3.9 seconds as well. It's very high. The price starts at that price, so it's like comparing, it's very different. The negative things about this car is that it takes 20 hours to charge it completely. So like if you need it tomorrow and you haven't charged it, I mean, it's useless. And in a single charge, it just travels up to 2,050 kilometers, which is really low. And that's basically it of that car. I mean, it's pretty and everything. It's classy as Mercedes is, but I think it's not that functional. So, and the colors, we didn't like that also. Like the electric blue is just like, I wouldn't use that color. And it comes also in a bright yellow, which isn't that. Yeah. And then we have the most amazing car that we found. It's really recent, 2013. It's the Quant. So the Quant is basically 3 cars. It's one that it's a limousine, and it's like a VIP, like you maybe can buy it. And then is this car, which is no, it is physical, like you can see it, but
it's in testing right now.
It's testing, like it's constantly, it's in exploration, in trial, like if they can change anything. So this car is very special. It is electric, as you may think, but the thing that is awesome about this car, it runs in nanoflow cell, which is an ionic fluid. So it's basically, it has two, in the motor it has 2 like big cells, and it's like the positive and the negative charge. So when it combines, it makes a discharge, which makes the car like run speed really fast. So it has an impulse from 0 to 100 kilometers in 2.8 seconds, which is like a second better than the other ones. And it's what we adored about this car is that it only looks great on the outside, but on the inside as well. The other cars were like classy and everything, and it's like, wow, luxurious, but this car is really simple. It has a wood mounted platform, as you can see there, and it's really technological. It has, I don't know if you can see it well, but the things that appear, like the buttons, those like appear in the wood. I don't know how to say it, so it's different. And it has color banded lights at the sides of the car. I think there's a picture. Oh, there.
Those lights.
So those lights are the battery, actually. So it's the flow of energy of the car, like running through the car as well. So it looks amazing. And the front of the car, it has like a feeder. So it's not like just small. It's really cool. And that's the car at the exhibition when it first launched, and everything was like, oh, amazing. And this kind of energy can be used when they want to explore it more, so they can like introduce it in airplanes and trucks, because what's amazing is that like the escape of everything, like it doesn't pollute, it dissolves as water, so it's pollute free. It's really cool. I think what more.
Who makes them? Who makes Quant-F?
Quant-F, It's they're two designers, two basically like I read it about a little, but it hasn't because it's so recent. It has not like many information about like the authors, but we could show you like a video. It's really cool.
And where are they from? Do you know where they're from?
And they're from it's from California.
Mm.
From California, they're Californian. Yeah, no. So to conclude this, we want to show you a video of that car because we really liked it. So you can see it in how it speeds up. But in conclusion, we can see technology as well as design combined can make beautiful things. Like from studying history, it's slow and everything. It's more functional, like you mentioned, like it's more functional than the design. But as it like goes through the years, the design is much more important in automotives. So it looks great on the outside as well on the inside, and it works. So yes, you have a question.
Why you don't put a car of the 2016?
Because the cars of the 2016 are not available. So it will be no, because we wanted to compare electric cars, and that was the most recent one that we found like cool. So that's the reason.
Jessica has a question.
Oh
Yes.
That electric car, the last one, has to be charged?
yeah.
Yes.
How many times?
I don't remember. I don't have that information. I can research for you, but it's like
Is it like the other one that's
yeah, like no, the Mercedes is really great, but it's zero functional. This one I don't remember, and they want to put this kind of gasolines, but for those cars. And like there's a debate about that because like it's gonna be very expensive to change everything, but they think that it's like if it is better for the environment, like governments should like take a look at that. It's different because they have two. It's not just one. It's like two ports because they have two, the positive and the negative. So it's different. But it's
different
in
the way they
testing.
charge.
Yeah.